Welcome to episode 1 of my new series where we read vintage advice columns from the 1950s through the early 2000s. We revisit their so called wisdom and decide whether or not their old advice still holds up today. Before we had social media, the internet, Google, or even ChatGPT, people got their information and their daily drama from one place, the newspaper. Most newspapers were divided into sections, and the very last section was for lifestyle and living section. That's where you'd find the comics, the horoscopes, and all the syndicated features people read every single day, including advice columns. From 1955 to 2005, one name dominated that space, and her name was Esther, who went by the nickname Epi Ladera, better known as Ann Landers. She was a household name, America's advice queen, famous for her sarcastic tone, her straight talking style, and her tell it like it is attitude. For decades, people would sit down, pick up a pen, and mail, yes, actually snail mail, their deepest problems to Ann Landers. These weren't small questions either. Most of the letters were about love, marriage, and relationships. People wrote about their infidelity, whether they should break up or get married, or how to handle intimacy, and every kind of romantic disaster you can imagine. Ann Landers answered all with her signature mix of snark, wisdom, and compassion. She didn't sugarcoat anything. She told people exactly what she thought, and then the newspaper would publish both the letter and her advice for the entire country to read. At the peak of her popularity in the 1990s, the Ask Ann Landers column had an estimated daily readership of 90 million people. 90 million. That made her one of the most widely read columnists in American history. So today we're taking one of those vintage letters, dusting it off, and seeing whether Anne's advice still holds up, or whether it belongs back in the era that it came from. For the past couple of years, I've been collecting old Ann Landers clippings and newspaper articles, little time capsules of how people used to think, love, argue, and panic. And today we're diving into a real gem. This one, whoo, this one will make you wonder how Ann Landers became the go to voice for millions of people. It's dramatic, it's messy, and it definitely makes you raise your eyebrows at the advice she gave. I'm not sure exactly what year this particular letter was written. The clipping doesn't say, but trust me, the story is unforgettable. Dear Ann Landers, last New Year's Eve, my 15-year-old daughter had a party for her friends, under my supervision, of course. And at midnight, while I was busy passing out soft drinks and food, I turned around to see John, my 40-year-old boyfriend, kissing one of my daughter's 16-year-old friends. This was no ordinary peck on the cheek. This kiss was on the lips, and John's hands were planted firmly on her behind. The girl's arms were wrapped around his neck. When I confronted Mr. Hot Stuff later that night, he said he had too much to drink and didn't remember anything he did. John has apologized at least 5 times, but I can't seem to get that steamy scene out of my mind. He's caring, he's a wonderful man with a heart of gold, and we get along very well. And as far as I know, he's been 100% faithful. Until this happened, I was sure he was Mr. Right. Should I forgive him this one lapse, or is it a red flag that signifies a major character flaw? I need your advice. Unsure in Columbia, Ohio. Dear Columbia, I opt for the one lapse explanation this time. Accept it. Alcohol can do strange things. Consider this a dead issue and suggest that John stick to cola on future occasions. And that's a trip back into the world of Ann Landers, where the problems were timeless and the advice was, well, let's just say questionable and doesn't always age well. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Vintage Advice Columns. If you like this type of vintage content, please like and subscribe so you can join me next time as we uncover another vintage classic from my archives. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day.